when I heard Joe Burrow say he knows and he sees how special Kenny Pickett will be, he could have named plenty of other quarterbacks. But the fact that he named Kenny was like, oh snap, I didn't seen this before. I didn't play him twice already. So I know sooner or later, I don't know if it's gonna be this year or the year after that, it's gonna be some shootouts. That's what I do know. When you got a guy like Joe Burrow talking highly of a Kenny Pickett, the second year guy, they see it. I just said this on the last show. When you see great as a player, when you see greatness, you acknowledge it. When you don't see greatness, you don't even talk about it. So as a fan, I can't sit as a fan because I've never really been in the fan's shoes. I'm just looking at fans and people like I'm giving y'all the cheat code on how to evaluate without evaluating players. When other players talk about players, they're good as hell. When they don't talk about players, they don't think that they're good. Take whatever they did in college out the window. They're looking at right now because they actually have to watch tape on going against these guys. They don't do highlights. They don't do because highlights ain't the real world. Highlights is for social media. But when you're watching tape and you're an X and O guy, you know what this guy's good at, you know what he's not good at. And you learn how to attack him and how not to attack him. That's what you so when a quarterback is talking about another quarterback, and Joe Burrow was talking about Kenny, he didn't have to mention Kenny name. He could have said any other quarterback in the AFC North. Just listen to it. But the fact that because there's some good quarterbacks in the AFC North, Joe included. The fact that Kenny came out of his mouth says a lot on how he thinks and sees and feels about Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, let me piggyback off this really quickly too, Ike, because say what you want about the Madden ratings, but the Madden ratings are out and Kenny Pickett comes in at like a 73. Deshaun Watson's a 78. Joe Burrow's a 95. He's the second best quarterback in the game behind Mahomes. Lamar Jackson's a 91 overall out of 99, 100 score you're trying to get. Do you really think come season's end that Kenny Pickett's going to be the worst quarterback in this division? I don't know who he's going to pass up, but I find it hard to believe that he's going to be the fourth best quarterback in this division come the end of the 2023 season. That's my 2 cents worth.
I don't care how many yards Kenny throw for. And I'm just speaking on my behalf. I don't care how many yards Kenny throw for. If Kenny got 9 game-winning drives, ain't nothing else for me to say. We can talk about all it. If the game is close and Kenny don't have the breakout season where people expect for him to break out, statistically wise, but the man got 9 game-winning drives, I take that all day.
I think we continue, whether it's Madden or fantasy football. I think, yeah, there is something that gets into your head about how some fans will stack up QBs. And it is, it's an interesting point that might sound obvious to some people about like highlights are not reality, but really look at the millennium in which we reside. I mean, Aaron Rodgers does over the course of his career has made some otherworldly throws, and Josh Allen trucks guys, and Lamar Jackson runs away from guys and they never put a hand on him. But who's the best of all time? It's Tom Brady. The nuance of the position is fascinating because you do sprinkle in from the fan side of things, the fantasy element and the video games and all of that. And then it's perpetuated largely by social media and beyond about like, look at this otherworldly throw. But amidst all of that stuff, I mean, really, Brady, think about, is Brady otherworldly as a physical being? No. Was Peyton Manning? Well, and these are the two guys who are probably the most successful of the millennium. And so, this Kenny Pickett sort of skew. I'm not saying that he is going to have the career that those guys had, but you get where I'm coming from, that it doesn't boil down necessarily as much as we kind of talk ourselves into it around the draft process and otherwise. It's not the guy who has the electric arm necessarily who gets over the hump. It is situation. It is the coaching that they get. It's what they're surrounded by. And I really do think, I don't know where Kenny Pickett's going to be in a decade from now. I do know that if you buy that he's the real deal and takes care of the ball and makes good decisions behind what should be a plus offensive line, I do buy that these next 4 years have a chance to be real special. And the only thing that gets in my way around this mini era that we're entering into with the Steelers is their neighbors. I mean, the AFC is as miserable as it could be. I'm like, can I discount like 1 or 2 teams out of the AFC getting to the Super Bowl? That's about the end of it. Everybody else, I mean, it's so loaded. That's the only thing that spooks me. I can silo my brain with about like 8 different AFC teams and make a case like, boy, that team's going to be just about unstoppable until I start looking around at all the other teams that are going to be good.
A lot of teams in the AFC, a lot of good, a lot of Hall of Fame, a lot of great players, but they will have to wait till they retire. Will get shortcutted because they're in the AFC right now.
Just right.
One position is the quarterback position. Yeah. There's going to be some Hall of Fame quarterbacks that are not going to win Super Bowls in the AFC right now because on how loaded the AFC is. What gets you over the hump in the AFC is your head coach and you as a quarterback.